everyone. In this video, we're looking at all of my recent pickups. First up is Jurassic Park Trilogy on 4K Blu-ray in this incredible steelbook. I actually bought both Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3 a few years ago. I have every movie in the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World series except for Jurassic Park 2. I did not completely dislike Jurassic Park 2. I just wasn't interested in seeing it again. It wasn't worth the pickup for me. Actually, neither was the Jurassic World series, but my wife insisted on those, so those are for her. This release includes all 3 movies of the Jurassic Park series. I was fine rebuying movies 1 and 3. 2 comes with it. These not only include Dolby Vision, but had a complete restoration from the original negative, so they are different from the last 4K release back in 2022. They also have a Dolby Atmos track versus the DTS-X on the 2022 4K Blu-ray. Jurassic Park, the first movie in the series, is one of those movies that is special to me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I remember seeing it at my commercial theater back in 1993. I was a little kid. I'll always remember that experience, and Jurassic Park will always stay with me and be my kind of movie. I had no hesitation buying this again so I could experience it in my own home theater in the best possible presentation and whenever I want. I've seen all 3 movies in this release, and for me, after seeing all 3, this release is worth the pickup. The DTS-X on the earlier 4K Blu-ray was very good, but the Dolby Atmos here is better. I wouldn't say it's a night and day difference, but the Dolby Atmos to my ear sounds a bit fuller, a bit more complete, a bit more immersive throughout the franchise. Powerful, impactful LFE, good audio from all channels. Every scene with the T-Rex is exactly how it should sound, bold, powerful, and full. In Jurassic Park, the scene where the Jeeps are stuck by the T-Rex enclosure and we see the T-Rex for the first time, absolutely phenomenal. Demo-worthy audio throughout the scene and excellent visuals. Even the CGI in that scene looked very good considering the time. The CGI in some other scenes, not as good, but for an early 90s movie that's now been given a very detailed, very sharp 4K restoration where nothing can hide, I get how some of the CGI may not look as great now. Overall, throughout the franchise, video quality is good. Some scenes look very detailed and sharp. Other scenes may look much softer. It leans mostly sharp, mostly 4K-ish, but there are plenty of instances where it's softer. Jurassic Park is definitely the best of the 3 in terms of video quality. Excellent contrast, brilliant bright, excellent black levels. The Lost World is second, and Jurassic Park 3 is a close third. Overall, my aggregated rating for all the movies in this release is a 3.75 out of 5 for video quality, and audio is a 4.75 out of 5. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, this is a must-have, probably as good as it'll ever look. Fantastic audio. Whatever release of this movie you have, if you're a big fan, I recommend getting this. Kingdom of Heaven. This delivered a week late, but it did deliver. I paid $60 for this. This is one of the most expensive movies I've ever paid for. Typically, the price for pre-orders may be pretty high initially, but they often drop by some amount closer to release date. This did not, and I did not think to recheck my order before it shipped. I was very interested in seeing this movie and definitely wanted to pick it up, but not sure if I would have paid $60 if I had caught it before it shipped. But I have the movie. It is what it is. No worries. I saw this movie only once when it released in theaters in 2005. I knew it would be long, grand, a blockbuster of a movie. That's what I want to see in my home theater, and that's exactly what I got. An excellent presentation. I was surprised that I really didn't remember much about this movie. I essentially watched it again for the first time. One of the best looking 4K Blu-ray releases I've seen so far this year, and that's saying a lot. There's been some very good looking releases this year. Audio is good. I did feel as though the score was made more of a priority throughout the movie, while some of the other background sounds and other practical sounds were more reserved, including LFE and action scenes and battle scenes. Again, audio is good, just a bit more reserved than I like, and more reserved compared to some other new releases I've heard this year. Overall, a fantastic home theater watch, an epic movie, grand in scale. Highly recommend this movie. Dark City. I did a review for this movie on the channel, so take a look at that video if you will. I gave the movie straight 4s across the board. Maybe the first time I gave the same rating for video, audio, and movie quality. That's neither here nor there, but I realized it after the review. Just an interesting FYI, Arrow released this and as usual did an absolutely fantastic job. It looks and sounds fantastic. 2 versions of the movie, each on its own disc, both in Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos, loaded with bonus material and extras. Great artwork. It's a late 90s science fiction thriller. Reminds me a lot of The Matrix visually, story-wise, and general tone. I do recommend this if you're into science fiction, noir crime, or if you like The Matrix. Again, check out my review. I go deeper into my thoughts about this release. The Crazies. I picked this up from Lionsgate Limited. My first order from that site. Packed, perfect, came early, no issues whatsoever. And look at this art. Absolutely fantastic. Among my favorite cases. The team that Lionsgate put together to work on this release did a great job. Audio and video were solid. The movie itself is such a good movie. I gave it a 4.75 in my review. You can check out that review on the channel. I left a direct link to the video in the description section below. I'm not a horror movie fan, but there is something about zombie movies. I really enjoy that subgenre. This is a bit of a different take, but it works. The people that are infected, at least initially, appear normal, and they aren't mindlessly eating people. They're deliberately and thoughtfully, to some degree, dishing out violence and death. And I like that there is a simplicity and an element of realism that makes this even more creepy and enjoyable. If you like zombie movies, I highly suggest picking this up if you can take some of the violence and gore. Also picked up this movie from Lionsgate Limited. I ordered it at the same time as I ordered The Crazies, and it delivered at the same time. I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to watch this and the sequel, which I already have in my collection. Another good-looking case. It's based on the comic book series, which I have not read, so not sure how it compares, but this should be a good movie. I've seen it before, really enjoyed it, and looking forward to seeing this. A Knight's Tale, fun movie, very charming and likable. It follows a lot of the typical beats and uses a lot of the typical story elements you might expect from a movie like this, but it worked for me because it's done well. A bit more dialogue heavy than I expected and a little slow at times, but overall, I like the movie. I remember it well, so I had to pick it up. I did a review for this movie on the channel, so check that out if you will. I go deeper into my thoughts about this and offer my ratings on video, audio, and the movie itself. Tombstone. I've said before on this channel, I'm a huge fan of 90s movies. Tombstone is a classic from the 90s, and it finally got a 4K Blu-ray. I saw this countless times when I was younger. I owned it on VHS. It's been a while, but it's just as good as I remember. It's about a period in Wyatt Earp's life in Tombstone, Arizona, and his conflict with a gang known as the Cowboys. This is based on true events and some real people. It's more or less fairly accurate in a broader sense. Some of it was certainly over-dramatized for story and effect. Val Kilmer pretty much steals the movie. He does an excellent job playing Doc Holliday. In real life, Doc Holliday was a problematic person, to say the least, and I'll leave it at that. But Val Kilmer and his performance of this character, I won't say the man, is one of the major highlights of this movie, and he has some of the best lines in the movie. Really good movie. I highly recommend this. Timecop, this released in 1994. The good folks at Shout Factory released this 4K Blu-ray. I remember seeing Timecop in the 90s, but I could not recall my thoughts about it. Before I bought it, I did a bit of an audition, so to speak. I streamed about a third of the movie. There's a lot that I did not remember, but I saw enough that I decided to pick it up. I'm such a huge fan of 90s movies in general, especially 90s action, and this was just my kind of movie. Time travel is a major theme which actually works well for the most part in this. In the movie, the technology exists to time travel, but it's illegal. Jean-Claude Van Damme is part of an enforcement agency that goes back in time to apprehend people using time travel to change history, but he runs into a very powerful person that isn't just trying to change history, but is coming after him. Audio and video were fine, nothing particularly special, both were just okay. Be aware there is a healthy amount of grain throughout. Ultimately, if you're a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan and a fan of 90s action, this may be worth a watch. The Long Kiss Goodnight, I did a review for this movie on the channel, so take a look at that if you will. I really like this movie. This particular release was very good. Glad I got it. I'd seen this a lot through the years, mostly when I was younger. It's just as good now as I remember. It was an immediate pickup for me. This is a very good 90s action movie. 11 Rebels. I saw this available for pre-order, saw the trailer. There was enough there that I decided to pick it up, and it was only $15, which was wild because the trailer looked really good. Reading the synopsis, a group of convicts are promised freedom in exchange for defending a small town in feudal Japan. Tasked with holding a fortress against encroaching government forces, they fight with the desperation of men with nothing to lose. But when the officials who recruited them renege on their promise, the warriors realize they've been used as pawns in a larger scheme. Betrayed and outnumbered, they must forge their own fate or die trying. Runtime is 2 hours, Japanese and English audio tracks, English and French subtitles, and it has Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision, so should be a good one. Looking forward to seeing it. Moana 2, the family saw this on Disney+. We all enjoyed it a lot, so picked up the 4K Blu-ray. I was able to get it on sale. Haven't picked up the first movie yet, waiting for a sale on that one. This is such a sweet, fun, funny, fairly light animated movie. Looking forward to what should be good audio and video from this 4K. Mufasa. I wasn't expecting much from this movie. The trailer didn't do much for me, and I had doubts I'd get the Scar Mufasa origin story that I wanted. I knew I would see it at some point, but I wasn't that eager. Despite issues with some of the voice casting in the 2019 live-action Lion King, I enjoyed that movie. I just had my doubts about Mufasa. My son absolutely loved both the 1994 and 2019 Lion King movies, so when Mufasa was available on Disney+, we watched it. I thought it was okay. My son, of course, as predicted, loved it and wanted to rewatch it over and over again. And the more I watched it again, the more I liked it. I liked it so much that I wanted the best possible format, so I decided to buy it. It wasn't quite the origin story for Scar and Mufasa that I expected, but it was okay and I was entertained, and it's very rewatchable, to me at least. The biggest issue I had were the songs. Most I did not like very much at all, but the movie was good enough for me to pick up. The Magnificent Seven. This is the 2016 remake of the original, The Magnificent Seven from 1960, which was a retelling of Seven Samurai from 1954. I saw the 1960 movie once when I was a kid. I was never a huge fan of Westerns, but there were a few that I really enjoyed, and I recall enjoying the 1960s The Magnificent Seven. I don't recall it well at all because I was just way too young and only saw it once, but I remember liking it. I've seen the 2016 remake a handful of times. I actually really enjoyed it quite a bit. Never picked it up. It's been a while. I saw it on sale, wanted to see it again, so I got it. It has Dolby Atmos. It's a Columbia Pictures release, which is owned by Sony. They typically have very good releases in terms of audio and video quality. Pretty long at 2 hours and 13 minutes. I like a good long movie. Lots of very recognizable faces. I've never seen it in my home theater or a commercial theater, so looking forward to seeing this. Margin Call. I don't think this is a well-known movie, but it's truly one of my favorites. While it's fiction, it's clearly inspired by the 2008 economic crisis. There's an ensemble cast which is made up of a lot of familiar faces, and I do mean a lot. Pretty much anyone with a line of dialogue I've seen before. It's an intense drama, very dialogue heavy. I'm a nerd and I find economics, particularly the history of economic crisis, fascinating. This released in 2011, the same year Too Big to Fail released, which is another movie about the 2008 economic crisis. But that movie is based on actual true events. So if you like either one of these movies, you'll more than likely like the other. I've streamed this many times. My incredible daughter got this for me as a gift. She heard me talking about this before and got it for me. So no more trying to track this down across streaming services when I want to see it. There's no 4K Blu-ray for this release. Standard Blu-ray is as good as it gets. Like I said, dialogue heavy movie, and most of the movie takes place in an office building, so not an especially broad soundscape, but it has a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mix, which if done well should give some decent ambiance. Looking forward to seeing this. Those are all my latest pickups. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts about any of the movies in this video, leave those in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more videos.